we know that the government has been shut down, right? Since October 1st, the government has been shut down. Republicans have been saying, why don't we just approve a continuing resolution and then we'll vote for the stuff that it's kind of the sticking point. We'll just vote for that stuff later. Democrats have been like, no, we're not doing that. And the reason why is one of the sticking points is the Affordable Care Act, right? It's been all about health care. The Democrats are saying, why don't we just make the Affordable Care Act permanent? And Republicans are like, no, we're not doing that. So you see where the impasse is. One person wants to do the funding and just kick the can down the road in terms of talking about the Affordable Care Act. The other one wants to say, no, the buck stops here. Let's vote on the Affordable Care Act, make it permanent, and we can talk about whatever else you want to talk about later. Two sides that are being stubborn, that are nobody's willing to give up an inch. And I like it from the Democrats. I do. Because too often we see the Democrats kind of like roll over and just do whatever the hell the Republicans want them to do. They're like, oh, we're going to fight for the people. We have been elected to fight for the people and represent our districts. And then they get their teeth kicked in time after time after time after time. But this time they're like, no, we're actually going to do the thing that we said we're going to do. And I think this is largely because we're starting to see like fresh blood get into the Democratic Party. People like Zohran Mamdani, people like AOC, people that are sticking to their guns like Ro Khanna, right? Even people on the Republican side, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, people that are really sticking up and advocating for what it is that their constituents want. Like popular things that are in the popular things across both aisles, like bipartisan things. And the Affordable Care Act is one of those things. A lot of people are not looking for their premiums to go up, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She was talking about how it would increase the prices for her sons specifically. It says Marjorie Taylor Greene, this post over on X says, Marjorie Taylor Greene blasts the GOP for neglecting health insurance topic and blames the party for the government shutdown. It says to allow Democrats to have a moral high ground on this issue because they're the only ones talking about it is a major failure from the Republican Party. I'm not going to stand there and keep talking the talking points. It's something that we have to talk about. It's something that we have to talk about it. I don't see why the government needs to be shut down. If Republicans learn to govern, they can open up the government and we can get back to the work for the American people. Republicans can solve this problem. I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm increasingly liking Marjorie Taylor Greene. That does not mean I'm co-signing everything she does, everything she says, right? It does not mean that I'm switching over to the Republican side, or I'm not on the Democrat side either. So it's all for naught. But I do like Marjorie Taylor Greene, her stance on a lot of these issues that have been hotbed issues in the public. I talked about her aligning and saying, yo, I'm voting to release the Epstein files, good, bad, or indifferent. I want them out there because the American people want them out there and the people need to be brought to justice, right? That's where she was standing on the Epstein files. Right now, she's saying, hey, the Republicans are the person with the majority in the House and Senate, and they have the White House. Like, why are we not opening up the government? Why are we playing this game where we're not trying to give the Democrats anything, especially the Affordable Care Act, when people's health insurance subsidies are going to go away and their costs are going to skyrocket? She's like, I'm not playing a partisan game. I'm no longer talking the talking points, right? This is how you know that politics is a game. She outright said, I'm not talking the talking points. We've been given a bunch of talking points to say, and I'm no longer going to stick with them. We need to get back to governing. We need to get back to working for the American people. And I'm with her on that 100%. Because you have people that are like Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, that's continually obfuscating and trying to pretend like, oh, it's just the Democrats, they're being unreasonable. No, people's health care is going to go up astronomically. They're saying like it's going to be like 30% of a person's income. If you're a family making $80,000 a year up in New York, they're saying that your health care is going to go up to $25,000 a year, about $2,000 a month. Who can afford that? Especially if you're making $80,000 a year. Once taxes eat into some of that, you're not going to be bringing home $80K. You still have to have a place to live. You probably have to drive. You still have to eat. Like, I don't understand why the majority of Republicans just hate the American public. Everything that the American public says we want to do, and this is not just Republicans, it's Democrats too, especially people that take like political money and they're working for these big corporations instead of working for the American people. They look at whatever we think is a good idea in terms of governing and doing the right thing on our behalf, and they be like, we're going to actually do the exact opposite. Whatever it is, we say release the Epstein files, they say what files? We say we want the Affordable Care Act, they say no, we're giving $1 trillion in tax cuts to the rich and powerful. People that already have billions of dollars. We'll just make them more rich. Fuck it. Who needs poor people anyway? That's how they really act. And because of that, I'm liking Marjorie Taylor Greene, man. She's standing on the right side of a lot of these issues. And even the Democrats are learning from their mistakes. Because Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate, has come out and taken the Zohran Mamdani approach and finally learned that if you want to reach the people of America in the TikTok age, you have to actually get out there and, unfortunately or fortunately, you have to make content. You have to make content and meet the people where they are, not where you are. So let's check out this ad about the Affordable Care Act and the government being shut down from Chuck Schumer.
So now we're in a government shutdown. And you may be asking yourself, how the hell did we get here? Donald Trump and the Republican Party are hell-bent on taking healthcare away from 60 million people, closing community clinics, rural hospitals, nursing homes, all so they can keep giving tax breaks to their billionaire friends. It's a disgrace. So Democrats have 3 words for this. No fucking way. It's literally life or death. We will not let Republicans blow up our healthcare system. And this isn't the first time they've tried to do this.
Total repeal of the Obamacare bill.
Or the second.
Repeal of Obamacare.
Or even the third. You get the point. If Republicans are consistent about anything, it's about taking away healthcare from as many of you as possible.
He does, after that, get into the math of all of this, and I don't really want to get into that. But what I will say is, I'm tired of being on the losing end, right? I'm new to the content creation game and all of that stuff. But I will tell you, time after time after time, as he showed, the Republicans keep saying no, even though it's an overwhelmingly popular bill. It's an overwhelmingly popular program, the Affordable Care Act. And a lot of people are going to be in a worse off situation if they start to lose healthcare, if they don't have the opportunity to go to hospitals and be cared for, or the prices increase. Prices are increasing across the board on everything. But I am happy that the Democrats are sticking to their guns and saying, we're not budging. You guys are not budging? Okay, cool. We'll just keep this shit shut down. And like the polls are saying, a lot of people are blaming this on the Republicans. A lot of people are looking at the Republicans like, yo, you guys are doing a disservice to us. The military, they said the military is not going to get paid after the 15th. The air traffic controllers and stuff are basically not working right now. They're not going to be getting paid. So people are looking at the Republicans and blaming them. And usually they do better advertising and better finger pointing and put the stuff on the Democratic Party. But no can do this time. Finally, the Democrats are showing they have just a little bit, a tiny bit of a backbone. And I have to applaud them. I have to give credit where it's due. So shout out to the people that are on the right side of history on this.